Okay, the next thing we're going to do is test the water coming out of the filter, compare it to what's in the coming out of the tap. Both of these came from the same place. One was just run through the miniature filter here. And what we're going to do is add some soap to it. This is basically hospital soap. It's doesn't have any chemicals, doesn't have any lotions, doesn't have anything else to it. So what we're going to do is add about 3 drops each side. If you notice initially, the color of both of them were basically the same. There's no difference in as far as the way they look. But what happens when you add soap to water is if there's any minerals in it, the soap binds to it. Can you see a difference in those two now? This one's very cloudy. This one's still clear, has a few bubbles on top. That's what happens in your washing machine or dishwasher. The soap bonds to any minerals. Perfect clean water and soap don't actually mix. It's like oil and water. The soap will stay on top. Now when you go to agitate your washing machine, this is what happens. You get lots of bubbles on this side, which means it's going to emulsify the water and makes the water clean better. On the other side, you have a little bit of soap scum starting to form. That's the same thing that forms in your shower. That every week or so you got to go in there and spray and scrub. When you have clean water, you don't get soap scum. You don't have to worry about spraying and scrubbing. You notice how that rinses away clean, and there's nothing left on the side. Where on this over here, it kind of sticks to the edge. You can already kind of see a little bit of a ring starting to form there. But what that means for your washing machine is that instead of using the prescribed amount, a lot of folks feel like they have to use more and more because their clothes aren't getting clean. And you have to use a giant scoop or a giant cap full. What we're going to do here is add 3 more drops. So we basically have double. Instead of a half a cap full, now we got a full cap full. And let's see if that gets us to any bubbles in the water. We have a few, but they disappear fairly rapidly. And notice how this is separated. This is perfectly clear on the bottom. You wouldn't want to drink that because it's cloudy. The same stuff looks, you see in the bathtub when you add soap to the water. But if you were able to get a straw through that soap, this water would taste like water. It doesn't have any soap mixed in. So let's up the ante a little bit more. I'm going to add 6 more drops. So you're pretty quick with math. We had 6, now we got 6 more. How many we have?
6 more, 12.
We had 12, and we had 3 in this. How many more times do we have on this side now? We got 4 times as much?
4 times.
Okay. So got 4 times more detergent. And we've got almost as many bubbles. We'll call it close enough. So it takes 4 times as much detergent. If you could cut down on your detergent by a quarter, and even that's disappearing a little bit, that'd still save you money every month. So in addition to getting better quality water, it actually does save you money long term to fix the water, pull the minerals out of it. So now we've washed our clothes and our dingy water on this side and our clean water on this side. What happens next in the washing machine? The clothes are sitting there with the water, with the soap in it. What's the next part of the washing machine?
Spin and
You're going to rinse it, right?
rinse.
Yeah. It's sitting there and it's ready to go. We're going to take a little bit more water, and what should happen with the rinse water is that the water level should rise and the soap level should rise, so that as it's spinning, the soap will get rinsed away. And that's basically what we had happen there. That's water that was filtered. Now this is water from the tap. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to add the same water to it. And notice what happened with the bubbles. So we have pure water here a second ago. We added this much of your tap water, and what it did, instead of just raising the level so that it could rinse out the soap, what it did was that it destroyed the bubbles as soon as it came in contact with it because those minerals bonded to. So those pretty bubbles we had a second ago, those are just about all gone. And that clear water we had a second ago is no longer clear. So we can't get that back, and all it takes is just a little bit of this water with the minerals in it. So what happens, instead of rinsing away all the soap like it should, a lot of that soap bonds to the minerals, which bonds to the clothes. And so bed sheets, towels, those kind of things, the soap never gets completely rinsed away. So for folks that have maybe skin issues and you wouldn't take a shower, let's ask you this. If you're running out of body wash or soap, would you come grab your detergent and take a shower with? But if it's in your clothes that you're wearing every day, and it's in the towel you're drying off with, and the bed sheets you're sleeping in, there's nothing you can do. You're basically in a soap sandwich all day long. So I borrowed a washcloth from you earlier. You probably thought I was going to use to dry up my mess, but I'll do that in a few minutes too. But what we're going to do is take this and add some water to it. But instead of the water that you've already used to wash it with, we're going to add some water that's coming through the filter. The water in there, and obviously I'm not going to rinse this out nearly as well as your washing machine does, but it's kind of like if you take a bucket of dirty water and try to wash a dirty car with it. It may look better when you're done, but it's still not going to be clean. That's basically what happens when you have, most of the time our clothes aren't really dirty. They don't really have dirt on them. Occasionally we'll get out in the yard and make a mess and do that, but most of the time our clothes are fairly clean when they go in the washing machine, and they come out a little bit cleaner. But the soap won't get rinsed away because of the water we're using, because you can't wash away dirt with more dirty water. In this case, we're going to rinse away the soap that was left in this washcloth that your water can't rinse away, because all it's going to do is bond to the detergent when it's done. So you can already see how cloudy the water is. That's just from the soap that was left behind that your water won't rinse out, that my water will. And then when you shake it up, you see how much soap is really there. And I could rinse this 3 or 4 times and do that over and over and over again. The only way you're really going to clean it is you fix the water at the source, and you do a load of laundry with clean water. All right, now we're going to take a look at, this is a TDS meter, or total dissolved solid meter, and what this does is it tests how many parts per million floating around in the water. Kind of like during allergy season, you see things, how many parts per million are floating around in the air. This tells you what's in the water. And so what this tests is the things that we've already looked at, calcium, magnesium, things like that that's in the water, plus anything else that we didn't specifically test for. So a little sample of the water there. And this is a pretty nifty gizmo, and makes you realize that perfectly pure water actually does not conduct electricity, where people always say avoid electricity and water combined. But what this does, it sends a little current into the water, and whatever comes back, that's how many parts per million of things are floating around in the water. Now, there's no such thing as perfectly pure water in nature or even from your faucet, so I would never recommend putting electricity with water. But this tells you the 69 parts per million is what's in your water. And what we do is we can put a reverse osmosis drinking system in that will basically eliminate anything that's in your water. So what you have is better than bottled water right at your kitchen sink. Hopefully by these few tests taking a look at, you can see what's in your water. It's probably costing you some money. It's probably not as healthy as it could be. And we like to offer a free water analysis at your home. We come in and test for these different things and a few other things. If you have well water, we're not looking for chlorine, we're looking for different things that's in your water. With a free water analysis, you can figure out exactly how much you can save and how healthier you can make your water. If you thought about the things that's in your water the way you thought about the things that's in your food, you probably would not be drinking tap water. Thank you.